So we have migrated finally, and we've already zeroed at least 10 people. If you don't already know, we migrated over to Kingdom 51, and there is a target right here, Beta D1 with 9 million troops. So there's the scout, the initial scout that we got. A lot of T4, a lot of T3. So it's time to go ahead and start this rally. The initial might was about 560 million might. And the first rally, I'm gonna go ahead and start with cavalry, just because they didn't really have much range for us to worry about. And usually I like to bank on either infantry or cavalry being much more common than a ranged phalanx when rallying a target this size. So that's the way that we are gonna go ahead and tackle this. Again, the first hit is more of a blind hit, so I don't know exactly what phalanx they're in or anything like that. So sometimes you just gotta go with the best bet. A lot of times when people are going to be rallying like this, they like to go either infantry, cavalry, or they'll send all three troop types. They'll send like a 4-2-4 composition, etc. Me, I like to just go full cavalry and take my chances because it's very rare for you to run into range phalanx, especially with these troops. Now, of course, I sent some siege just in case we run into a range phalanx, but even then, I don't think I would have been capped regardless. So here we go, 10 seconds before the rally hits. There's the, of course, the all important gather gear that they leave on, and it's time for me to change my gear to my cavalry set. There we go, and there goes the rally. Now for this, I did pop a 50% boost because I really wanted to get this in at least 3 rallies. So here's the first one. Do we see fire? Yes, we do. So that means we guessed right on the phalanx, essentially, is what it comes down to. So he is down to just about 500 million might on the first hit. There it is, 2 million dead troops first hit. 216 wounded, which means that he basically only had like 5 or 6 infirmaries, which is not much, but even still, there is about 7 million troops that are left, so we need to tackle this. Now, I'm taking a look at this report right here, and there's basically no infantry left. Like, the only thing that's left is like maybe 100,000, which means you already know exactly what that means. We're gonna have to go ahead and tackle this with range. Now in this case, I'm not gonna send siege anymore because I know what phalanx they're in and exactly what is left, and range is going to absolutely crush them. So range rally is set, we're ready to go, and now really all we need to do is wait for this countdown to go, because 5 minutes sometimes can either be an eternity or it can be too quick, just depends on what you're doing. Now of course, since I just migrated, my resources as of right now are mainly coming from my bags, but as we raid the kingdom and start collecting resources, maybe find a bank or two, you never know, then we should be good on resources. But for the meantime, the bags is going to be, that's why I try to tell a lot of people, you don't use your bags unless you absolutely need to, because then when you actually need the bags to be filled, then you know you're struggling with your bags too. So only use your bags if you really need to. Everything else, just try to farm either hives or dead castles or gathering, whatever. Alright, so we're done with the healing. Of course, it's very important if you're a rally leader, if you're going to be sending one troop type, to change your talents to maximize that troop type. I also went ahead and put infantry phalanx because I want my range to be all the way in the back. I've explained why a couple of times already as to why I changed the phalanx the way that I do. It's just pretty much min-maxing my hit. Now we still have 9 minutes on my 50% boost, so that means we're going to be able to get this hit off and then another one after, which if I do this correctly, it should only really take 3 rallies to go ahead and zero this 9 million troops. So here's the range rally. Once again, he only had about 100,000 infantry, which doesn't really matter. It also helps that he is getting absolutely no reinforcements, like none. So that also helps. Now take a look at this hit, 2.6 million dead. That has to freaking hurt. And let's take a look at the report. So he only has 1.5 heroic cannoneers left and about 2 million stealth snipers. So you know the drill. We're about to go all infantry. Okay, now what I'm trying to do here is I have an infantry set that I like to use, and usually that depends on the composition, but it's about 70% T4 and 30% T3. But since I know that this hit is going to absolutely hurt him, and also is not going to hurt us as much, I toned down on the T3 that I'm going to send, and I actually put in even more T4. So I also change into this gather gear, just because when you're rallying anything, you do not want to show your gear, because you might then tip them as to what your rally is going to be, either infantry, cavalry, ranged, whatever. And unless you're just a full champion guy that's going to rally with the same gear all the time, you do not want to give your hand off early. So here we go, full infantry versus pretty much only range. You all know how this goes. It's a big ouch. 352 million might, and look at that, 92 million hit. He does have 325,000 troops, but that's what a solo hit is for. So I make sure that my troops are back, send out the solo attack, and finish off this 0 of many zeros that we got within the first 24 hours that we migrated into this kingdom. So there it is, boom. Give me that leader. Thank you very much, sir. And I do have about 6 or so more videos of zeroing people, rallying 600 million might, 500 million might, 900 million might. So be on the lookout for that. But let's go ahead and go over these reports once again. Take a look at this dirty hit. 4 million dead. Let's just say that rounds up to 4 million dead in one hit. That has to look. I've never been hit that hard, but I can only imagine when you get a report that is that disgusting, you're gonna be feeling it in the morning. Unfortunately, it seems like this player also quit right after this, because now they're sitting unshielded and without a guild. So we might have made them quit. For that, I apologize, but for the hits, I'm not sorry. But yeah, appreciate you guys for watching, and until later, bye.